In what's becoming a recurring theme, it was another bad night on the mound for Aaron Nola, but one inning in particular was kind of doomsday for him. We'll talk about it next right here on the PHLY Phillies podcast. What's up, everybody, and welcome back to the PHLY Phillies podcast. Tyler Zulli here as we broadcast live from the Xfinity studio, and of course, we're brought to you by our friends over at Bet365. And last night, Aaron Nola gave up 5 earned runs for the first time in the first inning in his major league career. It was also the 5th time this season that he's given up 5 or more earned runs in a start. Now, the problem with that is he's only made 13 starts this year due to injury hampering most of his season. Now, that 5 earned runs in the first inning is an outlier, but what isn't an outlier are his first inning numbers pretty much all season long. He's been really rough in the first inning of his 13 appearances. He has a 9.69 ERA. He's given up 14 earned runs over 13 first innings. He's also allowed 15 hits and 22 total base runners. Opponents are slashing 283, 377, 415 with a near 800 slug. But if that weren't enough, leadoff hitters specifically have feasted on Aaron Nola this season so far. They have reached base 6 times in the 13 games that he's pitched, including 4 hits and 2 walks like he issued last night. They're slugging .636 just at the leadoff spot and have an OPS well over 1 against Aaron Nola this year. But to take the first inning woes a step further, it really feels like it's just the first 25 pitches of a given game. They've produced worse numbers than his first innings in total. Opponents through the first 25 pitches this year are hitting .328 with a 910 OPS. Now, if you compare his career first inning numbers, 2025 looks even worse. His first inning numbers as an ERA, not great, just short of 4, but it's a 3.97 compared to the 9.69. And opponents hitting .234 with a 687 OPS in the first. And if you think about those leadoff hitters specifically over his career, their slug is nearly 300 points lower with a 388 slug and nearly 350 points lower in OPS with a 659 OPS. Now, Ruben Amaro Jr. brought this up last night on the broadcast. Whatever reason it is, whatever it's coming from the bullpen to the mound, he's not getting locked in properly the way that he needs to pitch effectively in the first inning. Now, I thought that the knuckle curve last night in the first inning had some really good shape to it after he had already been hit around and the damage had already been done. But it took Aaron Nola just way too long to clock in and lock in last night. So I went back through all of the at-bats to take a look at what went wrong for Aaron Nola. And it seems like the issue has been in the first inning all season long, and it was again last night. Aaron Nola's command just wasn't good. Let's start with the leadoff hitter last night, Bryce Turang for the Milwaukee Brewers. It was a 5-pitch walk. The first pitch was in the zone, a solid pitch at the knees or just about there on the outer edge for a called strike. And then Aaron Nola proceeded to miss 4 consecutive times with 3 of those pitches that didn't look particularly close. Now, the velocity for Aaron Nola in this at-bat was fine. He sat 91 to 93, which is kind of where we expect him to be. But the command just simply wasn't there, and he walked Turang on 5 pitches after throwing strike 1. Next batter after the leadoff walk, which is always dooming, but with this Brewers team they do all the little things well. They advance runners, they grind out at bats, they steal bags well. They're a really good base running team. It doesn't get any easier. So Jackson Chourio steps to the plate with a runner on first and nobody out, and he saw 4 pitches. The first one was pretty much middle. He ended up not offering at it. And then he got away. Aaron Nola got away with the third pitch. It was a knuckle curve that was fouled off. That location of that pitch wasn't particularly sharp. And then pitch 4, as you see, he hits Jackson Chourio. So the command continued to be an issue both in and out of the zone last night in the first inning. Puts runners on first and second, 2 good base runners, or at least with Turang on second, a really good base runner in Turang, with William Contreras coming to the plate, a dangerous hitter in his own right. So Contreras steps up to the plate, and I think Aaron Nola got the benefit of strike 1. You can see that first pitch is out of the zone, and in fact, according to umpire scorecard, that was Jim Wolf's worst miss of the night. I thought Jim Wolf was really good last night behind the plate, and in fact, he reportedly only missed 3 pitches all night. That just happened to be one of them and was allegedly the worst call of the night. But with the benefit of that pitch in mind, Aaron Nola gets ahead 0-2 on the second pitch, but he leaves that fourth pitch over the heart of the plate. Contreras hits it hard for a base hit. For the third consecutive base runner, they end up holding Turang at third. So the Brewers have bases loaded and nobody out. This is when Sal Frelick comes to the plate. He ends up picking up a bloop base hit and scores a pair of runs. Actually, on this one, I'm going to give Aaron Nola the benefit on this one. I actually thought this was one of his better at-bats. Now, yes, he missed on the first pitch pretty bad with the knuckle curve, but he was able to battle back and get to within a 2-strike count. And on this one here, I thought he executed a really good 2-2 knuckle curve. Frelick basically went down off of his shoe tops to go get the ball. He lifts it into center field for a base hit, and it ends up being a 2-run single. Not only do we have the pitch location here, but this is the still shot, the image of Frelick's at bat. He's so off balance here. This was a good pitch by Aaron Nola. I'm not going to give him too much flack for this one. Look at Frelick. He's flailing. His helmet's halfway falling off. I thought this was one of the better pitches that Nola made in the first inning last night. Frelick just did a good job of going down and kind of golfing it into center field for a bloop base hit. Then it was a throwing error from Harrison Bader. 2-run scores, and just like that, in the blink of an eye, it's 2-0. But regardless of this pitch, right, a base hit's a base hit. It's a line drive in the book type of situation. It's 2-0 with no outs still in the top of the first, which brings the rookie, Isaac Collins, to the plate. And once again, Aaron Nola falls behind in the count. First pitch fastball, borderline, could have been a strike, was ruled a ball. Falls behind, hangs the changeup. Isaac Collins hits it 358 feet for a home run. And in the blink of an eye, this game goes from bases loaded, nobody out, 0-0, to bases loaded, 2 outs. Runners on first and second with 2-0 lead with no outs. And Isaac Collins deposits the ball into the outfield bleachers. And in the blink of an eye, it was 5-0 Milwaukee Brewers. All in all, Aaron Nola got ahead of his first 3 hitters, which is a good thing, of course, but was unable to record any outs. And the problem, again, consistent with Nola, his command was not sharp, both out of the zone and in the zone. And when the problem with his velocity has been like it's been all year, 90, 91, 92, the velocity has dipped even further than what it's been throughout his career, and he's not throwing strikes early in the count, he has to come back into the zone with stuff that's not playing as much as it used to. The knuckle curve still dances, no question about it, but the fastball velocity is down. The changeup location on the pitch to Isaac Collins wasn't good. And without, a second's thought, the Brewers are up 5-0, just like that. Aaron Nola has to be better. In period. That's a sentence right there. Aaron Nola has to be better. But Aaron Nola specifically has to be better in the first inning of games, because otherwise he's going to continue to get hit around, and that 9+ ERA is going to continue to balloon in the first inning. And then the question starts to raise, is Aaron Nola going to get a start in the postseason the way that he's pitched? I've long maintained he would be the 4th starter at best with this team, even without Zach Wheeler in the conversation, where you would go Christopher Sanchez, Jesus Luzardo, Ranger Suarez in some particular order with those 2 guys in games 2 and 3. And yes, do you want to go 3 straight lefties in a row? I don't know, maybe not, especially against a team like the Dodgers who hit lefties well. But I don't think you have any other option at this point. No Zach Wheeler for the rest of the year. He's on the 60-day IL. And now Aaron Nola continues to struggle, and he's not looked sharp since his return from the IL. I think you're going to have to go 3 straight lefties. And at this point, Aaron Nola is not getting a start in the postseason until at least the NLCS. But the command problems have been an issue all year. He has to throw into the zone. That's where the velocity becomes a problem. You saw it again last night. The Brewers took advantage, and his first inning numbers continue to go in the wrong direction. So we'll continue to monitor what Aaron Nola is able to do. But if this trend continues, I think Rob Thompson's going to be hard-pressed to give him a start anywhere before the NLCS of this year's postseason.